Hello everyone. Our topic for today is chambers of heart. We have four chambers. They are right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and the left ventricle. First, let us look at the right atrium in detail. Right atrium contributes to the right border of the heart and the right surface, and it also contributes to the sternocostal surface of the heart and also 1/3 posterior surface, or it is also known as base. These are the contributions of the right atrium. Right atrium has two parts. They are smooth part and the rough part. Smooth part, or it is also known as the posterior. Rough part is also the anterior part. This smooth or posterior part is also known as sinus venera. This is the smooth part here. This is the rough part here. Now let us look at the smooth part first in a detailed manner. Three veins open into the smooth part. They are superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. This inferior vena cava is guarded by eustachian valve, and the third one is coronary sinus. This coronary sinus is guarded by Thivasian valve. Now let us look at them in the diagram. Here is the superior vena cava, which opens into the right atrium, and this is the inferior vena cava, which also opens into the right atrium, and here is the opening for the coronary sinus. The coronary sinus opening is present in between the inferior vena caval opening, and here we find this is the AV orifice. This is the AV orifice here. This coronary sinus opening is present in between inferior vena caval opening and AV orifice. Now, let us discuss about the rough part or anterior part. It is derived from the atrium proper. This rough part contains the pectinate muscles. Due to the presence of these pectinate muscles, it appears to be rough. This is the rough part here. All these muscles here are known as the pectinate muscles. The rough part and the smooth part are externally divided by sulcus terminalis. Interiorly, the rough and smooth part is divided by the cristae terminalis. This is the rough part here, and this is the smooth part here. This is divided internally by the cristae terminalis. This is the cristae terminalis here. And we also have the oval-shaped depression in the interatrial septa. This is known as the fossa ovalis. It is the remnant of foramen ovale, and it also have an upper rounded margin. This is the upper rounded margin here. It is called as limbus of fossa ovalis. And this is the AV orifice here, which helps blood to flow from the right atrium to the right ventricle. This is the superior vena cava here, and this is the inferior vena cava. This superior vena cava opens into the right atrium at the level of third costal cartilage, and this inferior vena cava opens into the right atrium at the level of fifth costal cartilage. That's all about the right atrium. Now let us discuss about the right ventricle. Right ventricle. It has two parts, that is inflow part and the outflow part. Inflow part is rough part and the outflow part is smooth part. Inflow part is where it receives the blood from the right atrium. Outflow part is where it sends blood to the pulmonary trunk. This inflow part has muscular elevations known as trabecular carne. This is the inflow part here, which is very rough. These are the trabecular carne. The irregular ridges here are known as the trabecular carne, and the outflow part is smooth. It is formed by infundibulum, where it is known as Conus arteriosus. This is the smooth part here. This is known as the conus arteriosus. The right ventricle receives blood from the right atrium. Right ventricle receives blood from the right atrium through tricuspid valve. It is called a tricuspid valve because it has three cusps. This tricuspid valve is surrounded by the fibrous ring to keep its shape constant. This is the tricuspid valve here. It has three cusps. This is the anterior cusp, this is the septal cusp, and this is the posterior cusp. These cusps help it to open and close during systole and diastole. Three cusps here, which is anterior cusp, septal cusp, and posterior cusp. These three cusps attach it to the chorda tendineae. These are the chorda tendineae here, which is a parachute-like appearance. Look at this here. These are the chorda tendineae, which are attaching the cusps to the papillary muscles. These are the papillary muscles here. Chorda tendineae helps all these three cusps to anchor to the papillary muscles. We have three papillary muscles. They are anterior papillary muscle, posterior papillary muscle, and septal papillary muscle. These are the anterior papillary muscles here. These are present in the anterior wall, and this anterior papillary muscle is the largest of the three. This anterior papillary muscle attaches to the anterior cusp and the posterior cusp with the help of chorda tendineae. Now let us look at the posterior papillary muscle. This is the posterior papillary muscle here. It is present in the inferior wall. This posterior papillary muscle attaches to the posterior and septal cusps. Now let us look at the septal papillary muscle. This is the septal papillary muscle here. It is present in the interventricular septum. This is attached to the chorda tendineae of anterior and septal cusps. These all structures helps to prevent the backflow of the blood. And we also have the moderator band that is also known as the septomarginal trabeculae. This is the septomarginal trabeculae here, which is also known as moderator band. It forms a bridge between interventricular septum and the base of anterior papillary muscle. This septomarginal trabeculae helps to prevent overdistinction of right ventricle. That's all about the right ventricle. Now let us look at the left atrium. The left atrium is thicker than the right atrium. The left atrium also has the rough and smooth parts. The auricle of the left atrium contains pectinate muscles. The auricle of the left atrium contains pectinate muscles, which gives it the rough appearance. The remaining all part is the smooth part. Into this left atrium, the four pulmonary veins drain into the left atrium. These veins does not contain any valves, no valves. And inferiorly we have left atrioventricular orifice. Now let us look at them in the diagram. This is the rough auricular part here, which contains pectinate muscles, and the remaining whole part is the smooth part, and it has four openings, and it has four pulmonary vein openings. And that's all about the left atrium. Now let us look at the left ventricle. Left ventricle is thicker than the right ventricle. It is divided into two parts, that is left ventricular proper, that is rough part, which contains trabeculae. This is the rough part here, which contains trabeculae carni, and it also has the smooth part, which is known as aortic vestibule. This opens into the aortic orifice. Here we have an opening for the aorta, which is guarded by the aortic valve. In between the left atrium and the left ventricle, we have the mitral valve. This is the mitral valve here, or it is also known as the bicuspid valve. This is the anterior cusp here, and this is the posterior cusp. And we have only the two papillary muscles. They are anterior papillary muscles and the posterior papillary muscles. These are the posterior papillary muscles here, and these are the anterior papillary muscles. These cusps are attached to the papillary muscles through the chorda tendinae. These are the chorda tendinae here. And that's all about the left ventricle. And that's all about the chambers of heart. If you like the content, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any doubts, please do comment down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and happy studying.